centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In her speech, the Prime Minister warned of the possible second surge of corona in the wake of recurrence of massive infections in a number of European countries. Sheikh Hasina said many developed countries in the world are struggling to face the situation. Her government undertook quick, far-sighted and planned measures to keep the wheels of the country's economy moving, she added. About vaccine, the Prime Minister said Bangladesh would get the vaccine once it is available, as her government has booked in advance.
করোনা ভাইরাস একটা মহামারী আকারে দেখা দিয়েছে সারা পৃথিবী জুড়ে। তার আবার একটা যেটাকে বলে দ্বিতীয় ওয়েভ, সেকেন্ড ওয়েভ, অর্থাৎ আবার ব্যাপকভাবে সেটা ছড়িয়ে পড়েছে ইউরোপ এবং আমেরিকা বিভিন্ন জায়গায়। সেই ধাক্কাটা আমাদের দেশেও আসতে শুরু করেছে। আমরা এখন থেকে সচেতন। হয়তো গতবার হঠাৎ করে আসা যাতে অনেক কাজ আমরা করতে পারিনি, কিন্তু এবার আমরা আরও বেশি প্রস্তুতি নিয়েছি এবং যে ভ্যাকসিন আবিষ্কার হচ্ছে বা যেটা এখনো রিসার্চ চলছে, আমরা আগাম বুকিং দিয়েছি যাতে সেটা চালু হওয়ার সাথে সাথে বাংলাদেশের মানুষের জন্য আমরা আনতে পারি। সে ব্যাপারে আমরা ব্যবস্থা নিচ্ছি, কারণ সেদিক থেকে আমরা সব ধরনের প্রস্তুতি নিয়েছি।
The special session of the 11th Parliament was prorogued today. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry read out the prorogation letter of the President. Earlier, the address of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, given in the Parliament on 25th January in 1975, was played in the session. Prime Minister and other members of the Parliament witnessed the address. Later, in her concluding speech, Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry thanked the Leader of the House, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Deputy Leader of the Opposition in the Parliament, G.M. Qadir, Chief Whip and members of the Parliament for helping her conducting the parliamentary procedures during the session. Earlier, taking part in the concluding speech, Deputy Leader of the Opposition in Parliament, Ghulam Mohammad Qadir, said this session marking the Mujib year bears special significance in parliamentary history. Meanwhile, two bills were passed in the Parliament. The bills are Narcotics Control Amendment Bill 2020 and Bangladesh Madrasa Education Board Bill 2020. Liberation War Affairs Minister A.K.M. Mozammul Haq, on behalf of Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan, moved the Narcotics Control Amendment Bill 2020, while Education Minister Dr. Deepu Moni moved the Bangladesh Madrasa Education Board Bill 2020, which were passed unanimously. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid has urged the international organizations and developed countries to work together to make the world corona-free. The President made the call when newly appointed Ambassador of Ethiopia to Bangladesh, Tizita Mulugeta, High Commissioner of South Africa, Joel Sibusio Nedebele, and newly appointed Ambassador of Kazakhstan to Bangladesh, Yerlan Alimbayev, presented their credentials to the President at Bangabhavan this afternoon. On arrival at Bangabhavan, the new envoys were given Guard of Honour separately by a contingent of President's Guard Regiment. Welcoming the new envoys of Ethiopia, South Africa and Kazakhstan, President Mohammad Abdul Hamid said Bangladesh is keen to expand relations with all countries. The President expressed hope that the relations of their respective countries with Bangladesh would be strengthened during their assignments in Bangladesh. The President urged the new envoys to take initiative to increase the import of various world standard products from Bangladesh. Noting that expansion of trade and investment along with diplomatic relations is very important, President Mohammad Abdul Hamid urged the governments of Ethiopia, South Africa and Kazakhstan to open their permanent missions in Bangladesh. In a briefing, President's Press Secretary Mohammad Jainul Abidin said that during the meeting, the new envoys of Ethiopia, South Africa and Kazakhstan sought the President's cooperation to discharge their duties. The new envoys said they would work to strengthen relations with Bangladesh. President's Office Secretary Shampod Borua, Military Secretary Major General S.M. Shamimuzzaman, Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen and Secretary attached to the President's Office Mohammad Wahidul Islam Khan were present. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said money and wealth earned through corruption can give no benefit in need, and COVID-19 has given this lesson. The Prime Minister said this while addressing the Secretaries' meeting of the ruling Awami League at its central office at Bangabandhu Avenue in Dhaka today. The Awami League President joined the meeting from Ganabhavan through a video conference. She said coronavirus has taught all that huge amount of money earned through corruption and unfair means has no value during crisis period. The Premier warned of the possible second surge of corona in the wake of recurrence of massive infections in a number of European countries. In this context, Sheikh Hasina renewed her call to wear masks and maintain health instructions to stay protected from corona infections. About vaccine, the Prime Minister said research activities are still ongoing and Bangladesh would get the vaccine once it is invented, as her government is paying in advance.
করোনা ভাইরাস এমন এক ভাইরাস আসলো, আমার তো মনে হয় যেটা বোধহয় আল্লাহ তরফ থেকে মানুষকে শিক্ষা দেওয়ার জন্য, যে ধন সম্পদ টাকা পয়সাগুলির কোনো মূল্যই নাই, সেই শিক্ষাটা কিন্তু পাওয়া যাচ্ছে যখন সারা বিশ্ব স্তরে, এমনকি যে সময় অনেক উন্নত দেশ এটাকে সামাল দিতে পারছে না, বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতি কিন্তু আমরা থেমে যেতে দেইনি। ভ্যাকসিনটা এখন আবিষ্কার হচ্ছে, সেটা নিয়ে পরীক্ষা হচ্ছে, গবেষণা হচ্ছে। আমরা কিন্তু প্রায় 1000 কোটি টাকা দিয়ে কিন্তু আমরা আগামটা বুক করে ফেলেছি যে যখনই এটা কার্যকর হবে তখনই এটা বাংলাদেশের মানুষজন পায়, আমরা সেই ব্যবস্থা নিচ্ছি, এরপরে তো চলমান থাকবে।
Meanwhile, Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has said all have to be alert about intrusion of terrorists, extortionists and controversial people in the party committees, mentioning that there is no scope to go out of liberation war and the spirit of religious neutrality. Obaidul Qadir said his party will not compromise with liberation spirit.
একজন একাধিক সাব কমিটিতে থাকতে পারবে না, এটা একেবারেই বাধ্যতামূলক। এবং শুধু সাব কমিটি নয়, কোনো সহযোগী সংগঠনেও কেউ থাকলে তিনি এখানে থাকতে পারবেন না। বিতর্কিত লোকের অনুপ্রবেশ যে কোনো মূল্যে বন্ধ করতে হবে। একজন নতুন লোককে যখন দেবেন খোঁজখবর নিয়ে, কোনো অবস্থায় অনুপ্রবেশ এ সাব কমিটিতে যেন না হয়। এখানে হওয়ার স্কোপটা বেশি হয়। দাগি সন্ত্রাসী, দাগি চাঁদাবাজ এইসব লোকজন যাতে প্রবেশ করতে না পারে, কমিটিতে না থাকে, এটা আপনাদের আমি স্ট্রংলি বলছি, এটা নেত্রীর নির্দেশ, কোনো অবস্থাতেই এটা করা যাবে না।
Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood, AFM Bahauddin Nasim and other central leaders were present at the Presidium meeting. Ambassador of Switzerland to Bangladesh, Natalie Sheok, made a courtesy call on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry at the National Parliament today. During the call-on, they discussed various issues including economic development and expansion of trade and commerce, holding of Parliament session during the corona situation, women empowerment, migration issue and progress of Bangladesh in achieving Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. The Swiss ambassador highly praised women participation in every sector, including politics, government, efforts of running the wheels of country's economy active during the coronavirus pandemic, and Bangladesh's progress in achieving SDGs. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry expressed Swiss cooperation in country's economic development and expansion of trade and commerce. Senior officials of the Parliament Secretariat were present on the occasion. Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said construction work of the Padda Bridge is going on in full swing despite various uncertainties and challenges. He said installation of 37 out of 41 span of the bridge have already been completed. The Road Transport and Bridges Minister said this while speaking at the board meeting of Bangladesh Bridge Authority held at Setu Bhavan in the capital today. He joined the meeting through video conference from 23 Bangabandhu Avenue. Obaidul Qadir said a ring of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman tunnel has been completed and another will be installed very soon. Bridges Division Secretary and secretaries of other ministries and board members were present. 62 districts of the country, except for Rangamati and Khagrachuri, will come under a rail network by 2035. A 30-year master plan, which began in 2016, has been implemented in this regard at a cost of Taka 5,53,662 crore. Bangladesh saw the first railway on the 15th of November in 1862 through a 53.1 kilometer track between Kolkata and Kushtia. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, while visiting the Railway Ministry in 2014, directed authorities concerned to bring the entire country under the railway network in phases. Following this directive, Bangladesh Railway has been working to construct new lines, renovate older lines, turn meter gauge lines into dual gauge and single lines into double lines. At the moment, there are 4,341 kilometers of rail line across the country. The Railways Minister said the 30-year master plan will change the scenario of the railway network of the country. The government, which assumed office in 2009, has undertaken 89 projects. Of them, 79 have been implemented at a cost of Taka 20,734 crore and 98 lakh. Insiders say the ongoing projects under the master plan will give the railways a new dimension. 30 COVID-19 patients died in the country in the last 24 hours, increasing the death toll from the pandemic to 6,305. The recovery count rose to 3,56,722 after another 1,934 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services published this today. It said the tally of the infection surged to 4,41,159, with 2,364 new cases being confirmed. The number of coronavirus patients across the country, including the capital, is on the rise as winter has set off. So people with COVID-19 symptoms have to rush to hospitals. As a result, public hospitals are facing general and ICU bed crisis. However, the scenario is different in privately run clinics and hospitals. People with coronavirus symptoms queued up at different COVID on Wednesday adopted a resolution for urgent solution of Rohingya crisis, asking for ensuring safe and sustainable return of Rohingyas to their homes by creating a conducive environment inside Myanmar. The resolution also called for specific actions on the part of Myanmar, including pointing out root causes of the Rohingya crisis, including granting citizenship, as well as taking confidence-building measures such as addressing justice and accountability. The resolution, co-tabled by OIC and EU, received sponsorship from 104 member states, demonstrated strong and unified support in favor of the persecuted. Rohingya Muslims and other minorities who continue to suffer from human rights violations in Myanmar. A total of 132 countries voted in favor of the resolution, while 9 countries voted against, and 31 countries abstained, apart from the member states of EU and OIC. The resolution received significant cross-regional support, with co-sponsorship from USA, Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, etc. COVID-19 global death toll crosses 13,58,000 as more than 10,848 people died yesterday globally. More than 5,67,71,000 infected globally, and more than 3,95,22,000 people have recovered so far. The US, the current epicenter of the pandemic, has now 1,18,87,000 confirmed cases and 2,56,479 deaths. Yesterday, the country reported 1,920 deaths. There is credible evidence that Australian special forces unlawfully killed 39 people during the Afghan conflict. A long-awaited report has found that the Australian Defence Force has released findings from a 4-year inquiry into the misconduct by its forces. It had uncovered a shameful record of a warrior culture by some soldiers, ADF Chief General Angus Campbell said. The report also found that 19 current or former soldiers should be investigated by police over the killing of prisoners, farmers or civilians between 2009 and 2013. The Information Ministry has been establishing media cell for each ministry to properly project development programs of the government to the people. Information Secretary Kamrul Nahar said this while exchanging views titled Circulation Strategy of the Government's Development Programs at the Secretariat in Dhaka this morning. Chief Information Officer Shurot Kumar Sharkar, Senior Deputy Chief Information Officer Mohammad Saifullah, Deputy Chief Information Officer Mohammad Shahinur Mia and high officials of the ministry were present. The Information Secretary said the government has been working relentlessly to take the country to a stage of developed countries within the year 2041. She also said this media cell will work as bridge bond to reach the development infrastructures taken by different ministries to the doorsteps of the people at the grassroots levels. A special tribunal today sole accused Monju I'll read this again. A special tribunal in Dhaka today sentenced sole accused Mojnu to life imprisonment and fined him 50,000 taka in a case lodged over the rape of a Dhaka University student in the capital's Kurmitola area. Judge Begum Muhammad Kamrul Nahar of Dhaka Women and Children Repression Prevention Tribunal 7 passed the judgment this afternoon. State Counsel Afruza Farhana Ahmed Orange said they are satisfied with this judgment as they have got justice. Now some sports news. Italy sealed their ticket to the Nations League semi-finals with a confident 2-0 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina in Sarajevo. Andrea Bellotti volleyed in a Lorenzo Insigne cross after 22 minutes, with Domenico Berardi adding a second on 68 minutes to ensure the Azzurri finished top of League A, Group 1. Meanwhile, Romelu Lukaku scored twice as Belgium beat Denmark 4-2 to book a spot in the Nation League's semi-finals. The world's top-ranked team only needed a draw to qualify from the top tier's Group 2. Belgium finished the group phase with a 5-point lead over Denmark and England. And now to end the news, here again are the main points. Government prepared enough to face second wave of corona and paid advance to get vaccine, Prime Minister says at concluding speech of the Parliament's special session on occasion of Mujib Borsho. President urges all countries and organizations to work together to make world corona-free. Obaidul Qadir asks partymen to remain vigilant against the intrusion of terrorists, extortionists and controversial people into committees. Government takes long-term master plan for railways development, 62 districts coming under network, excepting Rangamati and Khagrachuri. Number of corona infections on the rise as winter comes. Country records 30 deaths and 2,364 new cases in 24 hours. United Nations adopts resolution for solution of Rohingya crisis. And in UEFA Nations League football, Italy beat Bosnia-Herzegovina to reach the semi-finals. That's it from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. If you can, please join us for our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.